Well, there was a Merle Norman studio in Anson, and that woman hated my cousin and I, because we'd go up there and get our hands and stuff, you know. But it was just so much fun. I loved makeup ever since, and especially what, you know, it could do for a woman and confidence and all. So I went to ACU a year, and I said, this is just, you know, and back in the old days, you know, in the 70s, it was pretty much, you could teach school, get married. There wasn't fashion merchandising that much, or at least, you know, I didn't think there was. So I went to Dallas, and I don't know, do any of you remember Billy Saul Estes, the swindler in West Texas? Well, he and his daughter and I were good friends. She went to ACU. I didn't know what that meant. In fact, we went to see him one time in a ton of prison. And she says, Daddy, what did you do? And here it came, you know, this whole spiel, and it was like, oh, that's cool. But so she and I decided, let's go to Wade's College and interview and see what that's all about. And that was at the Apparel Mart. And we walked in that Apparel Mart, and we're like, oh, we thought we died and gone to heaven. We just didn't know what heaven was like here, but it seemed pretty cool. And so my brother drove us to Dallas, and we were sitting in the lobby of the Apparel Mart and waiting for him to come pick us up. We went through the interview, and we think we aced it. And we were sitting there. Well, this other man who was sitting over there, I remember he was with Thermojack. Do you remember that line? Probably not. But he was hearing, we were talking, and we were saying, oh, this got to be so much fun. And he says, are you girls legal? And I'm like, we didn't do anything. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was so, naive. Oh my gosh, I was naive. So when we got in the car, I told Terry, he's like, oh, no wonder they don't want you to come to Dallas. My parents were not for it. But I really loved it, and I had to learn a lot. I mean, I was very naive and modeling, but I enjoyed the part of seeing how they made me over, because my makeover just changed my life. That was one thing I think that gave me the confidence. And there are many things that give us confidence. In fact, we were just visiting earlier about what defines confidence in a woman. And there can be very, very many different things and experiences that we go through, but usually it is a journey. You know, it's something that we go through, succeeding or whatever we call, you know, that, what makes us feel good. But I really loved the part of going back home to Anson, and after church, everybody came over to my house or my parents' house, and I'd make them over. Now, I'm not a hairdresser, but I cut hair, and I had one cut, and everybody got that one cut. And it's so funny, because I was going to say this, but I have to tell you this real quick about my mother. She had her hair kind of long, and back then she would wear it up and put a wiglet on. And you know those stacked wiglets, like, you know, kind of, they're just like, here's one, here's one, here's one. So, but she wore her hair back under the wiglet. So I was doing a show for Redken, and I got to sit through the whole thing. And in modeling, you do a lot of different work for a lot of different companies, and you learn a lot about various things. So I sat through that whole thing, and that is when it was Hugh York, actually, who cut the hair of Farrah Fawcett, you know, for the Farrah Fawcett style. So Jose Rivera kind of took credit for it, but Hugh York really is the one that did it. And so they were showing how to cut a Farrah Fawcett style. And I'm like, So I went home that weekend, and I told my mother, I know how to cut the Farrah Fawcett style. She's like, oh no. I mean, she's always been my poor guinea pig, you know. She's, well, it'll be okay. So I got her, I pulled all that hair up, and you know, you would pull the hair up, take it here, and cut it. And then it would just fall. So I took it all up, but instead of cutting it here, I cut it here. It looked like stair steps up to that wiglet. I mean, she couldn't even wear bangs. I mean, she had to literally kind of spit on it and keep it back. Okay. But I got better at it, and so that I could cut that style, and everybody wanted the Farrah Fawcett style. Really, I mean, you know how if you had the hair for it. And then I would, you know, make girls over when they came over after church, and I practiced on them, and I thought, oh man, I've got to make some money with this. This is a bad habit. But I loved helping and see women, especially who may not have had an opportunity to learn those things that I had when I was modeling. So I got a job. Well, first, when I got out of school at Wade's, I was a house model for Justin McCarty, fitting model. And then I went to work for Bofano's first as a house model. And it was very boring because women would come in and I would put on the furs and model them, and you know, and they had a salesperson that had been there for a million years, and he was a salesperson. Well, these women would come in and, well, I don't know what would look bad. And I would say, that is not for you. That line is not, you know, it overpowers you. The sleeves are too long. I would just, you know, they'd look at it on me and then they'd put it on and, well, what do you think? Well, they'd ask me and I'd tell them. And I was selling, I wasn't supposed to sell, but I did. And this guy's figures went way up, and he felt like, I guess, you know, I was going to take his job over, which I didn't want. So I was called in, the owner called me in and said, you know, we're really going to have to let you go because I'm like, why? And he said, well, you know, the sales are going up, but we're just having some, it was just a political kind of thing. And I said, okay, all right, I'll just move on. I've learned a lot. And I just hope that you guys will continue teaching women with that big of an investment what looks best on their body style. Because, you know, I learned all that in modeling. And I thought, who's going to listen to me? If I really love doing this, I really love teaching women, who is going to listen to me teach this? I need a platform. So I found out about John Robert Power's modeling school. And I started teaching there for bread and butter money after I'd been fired. And, but I was still modeling. And I will never forget this, the girl who was the director was Betty Jo Brooks. And we called her BJ, pretty much for big jugs. She was Miss Maryland. She was the girlfriend of the owner. And, but I liked her a lot, and we both really had that love of, you know, teaching these young girls self-improvement in poise, personality, social graces, skincare, makeup, the whole works. And it was unbelievable when they left. How the confidence and how, you know, I've always said there's no such thing as an unattractive woman. It's just really someone who hasn't been trained. And we did that, and they walked out different people. And so I went to the owner, and the curriculum was really horrible. It was very dated. It's a franchise type organization. So I put together a business plan, and I said I want to rewrite the whole curriculum for the school. He's like, well, we get this curriculum from Boston, and they tell us what to do. And I'm like, I can't sell any more people to come to this school if this isn't good stuff. So I presented the plan and the whole thing, and he said, well, how much is this going to cost me? And I said, well, how much do you think I'm worth? I'll never forget that. He was like, well, $1 million. I said, I'll make you $1 million. And together, Betty and I really built the school. But what was a God gift for me, even though I was, you know, doing what I loved, the curriculum, you know, as I said, was horrible, but the skincare and makeup it just didn't even make sense. So I thought, you know, I've got to rewrite this makeup because I had learned a lot in makeup under lighting and, you know, contouring and highlighting and how different, you know, you can just reshape and redo. And so I rewrote that, and he said, wow, can you do the skincare? And I'm like, I don't know anything about skincare. I've never worked, you know, you think you've got to know or work with a company or whatever. So he said, well, this is just curriculum. You know, just write, you know, what these students need to know for the rest of their life about their skin and how it works. Okay, so I researched biology books and doctors, and then I found out they really don't know. And I just try to use common sense, and I found out there was a chemist in my neighborhood who was a biochemist. If I got them or not, we call them drop in the buckets in my company. And I put a note on his door and asked him if he would give me a call, and he did. And I went over to his house, and I said, if you get billions of new skin cells every day, over 10 billion new skin cells a day just on your face. And I said, to me, how can moisture get through that dead skin if you don't take it off? And if you get 10 billion new skin cells every day, what happens, 4 days later? You've got 40 billion. And I want something that will take that dead skin off every day, so I'm assured that I will get hydration, I'll hydrate my skin. Because I saw these students, young girls with acne, and dehydration, and you think that acne is caused from oily skin. It can be, but it's also dehydration. So when your skin thinks it's dry, it only shoots up more oil to help it out, and when those pores are clogged, you get acne. As we get older, you may not have the sebaceous gland production or the oil production, and you dry it out, and that oil is not supplying your needs, and you get very dehydrated, rosacea, eczema, things like that. So the whole curriculum was based on problem, solution. And this guy, this is for free, made some products up for me, and he worked at a lab in Arlington. He had raw materials, and took it to school, and it worked. It was amazing. And because of it being in a curriculum, we had to do, like, on Mondays we would do cleansing. On Tuesdays we would do exfoliation. And I saw the days and the differences of what happened with their skin in between and then that day. And it was almost like my lab, discovery of how the skin works and all. So the original products that he made for me, and I took them in Tupperware, worked. And until this day, which is 42 years later, I have never changed one product. Not one ingredient, nothing. Not even the fragrance, because that has a lot to do too with, allergic reactions. Because think about it, the skin doesn't change the way it works. It doesn't. With all of us, it works the same way. And I was amazed at what was on the market that women were buying, and they had drawerfuls of stuff, and it didn't work. And they were searching, and they were frustrated. And man, we packed them in that school, and I asked the director, I said, can I just sell this? And it was first called Christi skincare. And he said, yeah, I guess so. And I sold it to the students, and they just loved it. They wanted other people to have it. And about that time, I got married. And years later, I had a son, and I'm like, I really want to start my own school, because I'd learned so much of what women needed, how it was delivered, how fast results they could get, just had it down. And I did, but I went back to Abilene because I knew it'd be hard in Dallas. I knew I could get more press. I got a lot of press, and I had over 100 graduates. And to this day, I hear them on Facebook, and just the things that it did for them. In fact, I had a senator's wife attend. We had all ages. So our message has always been to all ages. It never is too late. It is always ripe and ready when you're willing to acknowledge it. And the one thing that we have done for years is our whole philosophy is you see it, you acknowledge it. I need to do this for me. How many times do we ever do anything for us? We have to make ourselves sometimes do it, or hit a brick wall and go, we gotta do it now, we're getting older. But learning it as we grow up, or at any time in our life, we have to acknowledge that we deserve that. And then we have to learn it. We have to really learn what to do and not struggle through our years of a drawer full of makeup. you know, paying all this money that, for instance, serums. I mean, serums can be unbelievably high, and you may use it for 2 years and go, well, that didn't work. So you're 2 years behind the road. It's just you have to have smart beauty, and you ask why. And that has always been my passion, because education has to explain why. And then you make your decision. And just do it. I mean, just do it. And once you do, it's just amazing how we begin to feel. And I know I have heard women go, well, you know, I'm really confident because, but yes, everything in our life, there are things that pull us down, that we want to go cry our eyes out and go, we're a failure. But what always gets us back up? We have to talk to ourselves, don't we? And we have to pull ourselves up. Others around us that year may not be pulling us up. They may be pushing us down. But it's up to us to take ownership of our own lives, obviously, but also take ownership of our beauty and our regimes and the, you know, working out, having a plan, eating right. If we're not good for ourselves, how can we be good for others? And I know you guys work a lot. You got to. I do too. I'm just a workaholic. I don't feel like I work, but a little powder and paint will make a girl look like what she ain't. So I just gotta keep on going. And women like you and my staff, you really encourage me. You know, I'll probably be up here someday in a wheelchair going, okay, girls, let's get going. But it's that I'm just so blessed to have had the knowledge, you know, that I've learned, not really trying to seek it out, but it's God's given me that favor and that support just to put it, and I like to develop it. And when, years ago, I was 83, I put in a makeover center on Beltline and Marsh. I don't know if any of you remember that, but that was when the Times Herald was around, the morning news, and we had real big ads every Sunday in high profile. And we pulled over 100 new clients every week. And we segued them into hair. They got hair consultations. We had the best team. And in '92, when I opened at the Galleria between Nordstrom and Saks on the first floor, I sold the division of the hair, you know, the hair salon and the spa. We were the very first ever to do something like that. And I didn't go out and try to copy anyone, or there's no one to copy. I just thought that'd be a cool place for women to come, because when you get your makeup done and you know exactly what to do, then you want to know, well, what about my hair? What should I do? Now I want to lose weight. Now I want to know what clothes are best, and on a budget in a way that would work for almost any age and any stage. And I loved it. We did, oh my gosh, we've done over 100,000 women. So when I put the center in the Galleria, we were there for 13 years. It was opportunities to learn certain things. And I know Janet has said with social media, we've lost our social graces. I think there's a need for our employees in various companies. We can't go say you need to, you know, necessarily, but you can treat them into letting us share what we're doing now at our new center in Addison, and it's about 6,000 square feet totally, and we have only my executive staff there who is with me today. I mean, that really zone in on the women that we work with in our workshops. And it's called Life's Essentials. It can be lifestyle essentials. We're going to be going into other things like poise and presence, body language, diet, nutrition. We will be bringing in some experts to play further on that, because once you get started and you get it quick and you get results, it's not like you have to come to a 6-week course. One time, 2 hours, you're flying out of there just like, yes, finally I got it. So we've written the curriculum, we've really done it. We worked a year on this, and we're real excited because I'm going to be teaching the classes along with my staff, but I'm excited because I have traveled for 8 years. I mean, we opened at Neiman's and Macy's and Nordstrom's, and I don't know if you know this, but this is called the planer that we invented, and it's amazing for your brows. And we launched this in New York at the shops at Columbus Circle in '08, almost about '09, and we were there at the launch for 8 months, and we did 8,000 women's brows in 8 months. So I thought, wow, I mean, people were standing outside in line, you know, going, well, I just want that kit. Well, we were like, no, we have to do your brows. You've got to let us do it because it's got to be perfect. No, I just want it, you know, New Yorkers. And so I thought, well, maybe we don't need to do these stores. Maybe we just need to do an infomercial, you know, and put me on TV and let me show you. And we did. And it was lots of fun. We learned so much about TV and HD and filming and lighting. Again, kind of taking me back to, you know, my original things that I experienced, but in a much advanced level. And it's from there we did home shopping, and we were at Nordstrom's, Macy's, Neiman's. But then I really got another vision, and I'm like, you know, there's no way we can control those makeup artists working in there. They're just not, and I'm not hitting, you know, knocking stores, but as you know in business, it's hard to get good people. And the talent that I have on my staff, they aren't anywhere. I mean, I don't care, a beauty editor, I mean, Donna had her own magazine, her beauty magazine, and things come out of her mouth that you're just, here, let me take notes. You know, it's just hard to get great people. And so zeroing in on our workshops, and we have a video studio where my guys that we've worked with and mentored from Skyline, who are now in North Texas, who are on full scholarships, do all our videos and editing and are fabulous. And we have like 100 videos in the can right now to teach women by watching. In fact, you were saying earlier you watched, I don't know, bless your heart, did you have a lot of popcorn? 2 hours of different videos. So you can do it in the privacy of your pajamas and learn and turn me off when you want to. But I think that education still has to be a part of our growth. I don't care how old we are. We get in a rut, and somebody has to preach to us again, right? Like my mom did. Just get out and do it. And it might take that educational experience, a workshop, really being able to know that you can recreate your look at home, because that's what we do. We make sure before you walk out, you know exactly what to do. And one of the things that I love a lot too is our makeup makeover, because we do the witty stuff, and it doesn't take long to do. You just have to learn it. But contouring and highlighting and getting rid of dark circles, and it's just tricks. And you will never learn that in a department store. That's what was so hard for us, because there were certain categories we could sell, but we couldn't sell the things that they didn't know how to sell, you know? And then if they didn't learn it correctly, they didn't get the benefit. So we have a very niche target market. We're not for everyone, but we're for that woman who wants to excel, who wants to feel great about herself, and just have that confidence level that she can be an example for those around her. And I definitely think that beauty is within. I mean, I don't think you can put a face on and, you know, in your heart be a witch. But it's all about our balance. And when it starts coming together for women, whether it's whatever it is, heart, you know, overall confidence, it's amazing what we can, you know, do and feel like we can climb those mountains. And I love to see women achieve what they want to. And we do zero in on your needs. You say, I like this, I don't like, okay, let's have a plan for you. Let us be your lifelong coach. And we will take you to levels of a win-win. And we do know how to do it. And we do it very affordably. So we have just, we're doing a new website. We'll be posting a lot of our workshops and things, of course, on the website, some of which are invitation. We work with companies. We can come to your company in certain situations. We can design a program for your employees. It's a great spiff, great reward, and they use that from now on. Whereas gift certificates to the spa or whatever, it's over with, fairly soon. And other than that, with the spa, the thing that women loved was the educational experience. So we're very excited about adding that portion to what we're doing actually now. And with the eyebrow being like the huge, I mean, everyone loves to know about how to do the brows the right way, because if you're at the mercy of someone to do them, who knows? They may get them too thin, and they may never grow back again. Once you pull that hair out, you may never come back. I mean, it may take one time or 50, but sooner or later, it may not grow back. And I've heard this I saw it in so many women, and until we started doing the brows, we did everything else in makeovers, but it was so hard to give her the look without the frame. And with the lips, women have problems knowing what shape, and we do change. So our lip shape changes. So those are two things on our face that really scream out. And a lot of times, if that's just the only thing you do, it makes such a huge difference, and it's a great start. So we put together a wonderful workshop called 3D Eyebrow Know-How and Luscious Lips. And we take 6 women in that group, and it's 2 hours at least. You get follow-ups afterwards, and you do not get out of the chair until you know what to do. We have workbooks, and that is one, if someone were asking me today what workshop would be the best, I say start with that. And then I can be with you, and my staff can be with you, and really kind of say, you ought to do blah, 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 if you wanted to go further. We don't try to push you. We're not pushy. You're the one that usually says, I want the next step. So if you think about it as learning exercise programs or whatever, we exercise you into a point where you get the results immediately and you really see, the benefit. So today, Jennifer, who is at our back, Jennifer is over training, and she's been with me, 18 years. People, I don't know why they stay so long. I think because they know they can fire me, and then I have to come back. But, and Jennifer is over our online business, which is our huge category that what we do. So welcome to join us online. And it's very educational. It's going to knock your socks off when we finish this new website. It's really cool. But she has taken a lady that won the makeover today, and we don't do, we don't do heavy thing. I mean, makeup. We really try to hit you where you want to be in your lifestyle. So she's going to do a reveal, and I know it's kind of hard to see, but she's going to walk through the audience. I don't know, maybe you can come up, why don't you come up here, and let's see if you can see the light on her face. Look at your eyes. We'll make us look like we are. Okay, can you see? One of the things that I think is neat, sometimes we don't think about the side of her face or, we just kind of do our makeup. But look at her side. See how pretty the contouring and how that shapes and how it's just not blush. And everybody's different of what we do. And the highlight under here, we do a called Smile Smoother, and you apply it under here, and it doesn't, it's HD quality, so it bounces light off. We've always done HD. Like our cream foundation is a physical sunblock. You do not wear a sunblock. You shouldn't wear a sunblock or a sunscreen if you're wearing the foundation, because it is a sunblock, so you're not getting irritation from the sunscreen. It has it in it. It's titanium dioxide. Have had it for 40 years in it. So, and then the lips, and see how the eyes are played up. And we really
there's so many tricks, you know, that we can teach you once you get started to advance into. But the glow, I think, don't you think her glow is pretty?
Yes.
Every woman should glow and feel like she's glowing, and not at the end of the day, you know, go, oh, I don't have any makeup on, or I look tired. This stays on all day long. I made sure of that because I talk all the time, and I want to make sure I don't have time to go touch up my makeup. And in modeling, you don't. And so it's great for women, you know, that are busy and don't really have that time for just playing in makeup all day long. What do you think?
There's a big sunspot.
Oh, you have a big sunspot in your house, and you can't see it. Well, we got that one on. So what do you think? Did you see yourself?
Briefly.
Briefly? Well, you look great. You like it? Okay, you're a good sport. Thank you.
Thank you. The girls will be, my girls, Diana Butcher is right here, the dark-headed girl. She doesn't get as good a deal on bleach as Janet and I do. and Janet, and Diana is the beauty editor, tons of knowledge in beauty. She and I collaborate all the time on what we're going to do with you guys. Janet is also involved in that, and she is the director of the Life Essentials workshops. And we have them at our beauty studio, our center in Addison, as well as on location. And so they're going to be at the back, and we have, we're booked really June, summer, July for our workshops, but we did open up 2 days. I don't know if that fits your schedule, but on the 12th, from 6 to 9, let's see, 6 to 8, right? I know that's a Friday night, but we had it open, and we can take 6 women. It's $100 a person, but if you want to sign up today, I told them that we would do 50% off. And that's a bargain, and you learn a lot. And that is on the brow lesson and the lips, and we go into some other things. We make sure that we, you know, allow you to play and alleviate some frustrations. And then the 16th, we have 2. One at 10 to 12 and one from 2 to 4. So if those dates fit your schedule and you think that would work, then just sign up over here, you know, with them. We do need a credit card for confirmation. There's a lot of people wanting the slots. But I think it would be fun to do it with a group that you know each other, you know, or you have the same interest. And then if you don't think those dates are good for you, then sign up on the waiting list, and we'll be the first to call you. And we're also giving away 3 prizes today, and I'll let them tell you about that. I will be here afterwards to visit with you. And one thing that our producers thought would be so cool, he said, because they hear what people say after an event like this, and you guys have so much wisdom, and they love to learn as well, because they're growing their careers, and we all do, and they're guys, and they're like, women really get involved in this stuff, don't they? So they suggested that if you would like to go over at the green screen, which the green screen means we can put things behind it, you know, that is computer-wise, so you're not limited to just a wall, and it's pretty on your face and lighting. And Donana's going to be there with them, and what we would like to know is, what is your definition of confidence? Because it's different from everyone. And we would love for you to do that. And if you want to talk about something else, something that you think would help other women to know from your point of view as a woman who is a lady, but we're trying to help those others to climb and be where you are, and what helped you get there as well. And we would love to do that, and we would certainly let you see if we ever use that on our social media or our website or whatever. You would approve it. You would sign a release today, but we would still make sure that you were happy with that. And you may just want it for your own websites or whatever. Because our team is great in doing that. In fact, we're going to be offering some video for your elevator speeches and things that you might want when we do makeup and hair, and you just kill it with your message. So thank you guys for the time today. I really enjoyed it, and come see us. We have a lot to share, and I know that you're sure to share a lot of the wonderful things as a network of women who care about women having more confidence and reaching our dreams. Thank you.